Hello everyone. So, this is Taylor. Nice to see you again. I mean, I'm not seeing you, but nice to see you again. I have a quick fluke to point out. I've been sitting here for, maybe not quite half of the video, about a third of the video, and here I was just talking, narrating everything, and I just happened to look up and see that I was not recording the audio that I was saying. So, you might have missed out on a couple things that I said. Or maybe I was a horrible talker and it's a good thing you missed out on what I said. But, yeah. So, again, hello! It's me, it's Taylor. I'm back with another Sims video. This particular one that I am building right now, in my last Sims video, I discussed briefly how one time I built a house that I liked, but I didn't use any items that I usually like I tried to use a bunch of items that I would never use. So I decided I wanted to try that again, so that is what this house is. I don't use 100% items that I would never use, but I went with more items that I don't consider something that I use often, like these these dark brown tones and outdated countertops and cabinetry. And I also used the appliances that would need renovated or replaced, just because I wanted to try something a little different. Whenever I build something in The Sims, usually I'm envisioning the people that are going to live in it. So for this particular one, I went for more of not necessarily low income, but just people that don't really particularly care to spend most of their money on really big houses. It's just somebody who's just trying to get by. Maybe they're middle class, maybe they're lower class, but they live in a house that could be really nice if it was just renovated, because it's actually a pretty spacious house. It's got a bunch of not updated fixtures, like that lamp or that chandelier and stuff, and they've got that pink microwave and those used many times refrigerator and stove. But I envisioned, also right there I put the thermostat above the stove, but when I was playtesting it, I did change it. There were a couple things that I had to go in and do during the playtesting, so everything should be good, everything should be able to play, because I did playtest it all, and I replaced the thermostat with the smoke alarm. But for this particular build, I wanted something that I don't usually do, and usually I go for blacks and whites and more modern and lots of color, but I wanted to go with something to try and get outside of my comfort zone with building. And this is one of my favorite builds, especially when I get to the landscaping, because I really like the landscaping that I did for this one. Landscaping is one of my favorite things to do in the game. And I envisioned a single parent, could be single father, could be single mother, but this home is for them, and they're just striving to do their best to support and care for their one child, which I made the bedroom kind of girly, so I'm assuming it's a daughter. And they're doing their best. Maybe they're not necessarily low income. Maybe they just want to save up all their money so that their daughter can go to college, or maybe they just want what's the best for their daughter, because they have everything that they need in this home. It's just that it might be a little outdated, so I give them, again, the old microwave, the old stove, the old refrigerator, and then I give them just the little box TV, because they need the TV, but maybe they can't afford the big screen, or maybe the parent doesn't deem it worth it to have to get a big screen because they want to save it for other things. Maybe they've got expensive bills. I don't know. But I just wanted to try something a little different. And like I said, I like to envision the story for the characters that potentially could be living in it. So that's a little bit what I did. And also, most people know of somebody that still has all this outdated stuff, like the outdated wallpaper. They've got those ugly curtains that hang in the living room that are all billowy and just the ugliest color that you could possibly imagine. So that's kind of what I was going for. I was going for more of less modern, outdated, not 100% the best, but good enough for the family that lives there. And I wanted the Galley Kitchen again, because I don't usually make Galley Kitchens, I just make a big gigantic kitchen with a nice island and everything like that. But I just wanted to try and get the most that I could in this little amount of space. And I probably could have made it smaller, honestly, but I wanted it to be decent because it's not the worst home in the neighborhood. It's just that it could be better. And so I gave them like the stained carpet that needs to be replaced and the wallpaper that is so outdated. Ooh. But I just wanted to try and again get out of my comfort zone and make sure that everything was stuff that I don't usually use. And again, I do use some of the stuff that is in here. Like I use that trunk for the TV stand occasionally, but I just wanted to use items that I don't usually use, and it just so happens to be a lot of browns and wallpapers and outdated looking items. So that's what I went with for this. But again, I don't know why I say again all the time. Man, I am annoying. I'm annoying to myself. Maybe I'm not annoying to you, or maybe I'm more annoying. Anyway, I just kind of wanted something that I don't usually build, and this is one of my favorite builds because it just genuinely seems like something that a lot of people are living in. Like, I know how fun it is to make homes like the perfect dream home and the really modern home, but I feel like I know a lot of people who have homes like this, and a lot of people that are, maybe several people that are watching it have homes like this, but there's still a good home. It's so homey. Like, honestly, if it was a little bit updated with either the carpet or the flooring of the cabinets, even just one of those, I'd be like, okay, I could live here. Especially, I love what I did to the outside. I can't wait to get there. But and it's a big lot. I think this is one of the 30 by 20 lots. I'm not sure. I didn't pay attention when I clicked on it. It's in Strangerville, but if you download it from the gallery, you don't have to put it in Strangerville. I also put the little holes, as you can see there. I put the little holes because it's a rundown house. It's pretty old. That's why there's the old wallpaper, old carpet, etc., etc. So there's a couple holes. But again, this parent is caring about their child. They are not concerned with the house right now. They just want to make sure that their child has the best life that they can have. Maybe not the best home, but they're going to have the best life possible. And that was my goal. And I almost thought about extending this house a little to make room for that dining table. But I thought, nope, there are people that have this little tiny nook and cranny to put their table in, because again, my family, we don't even have an area for a kitchen table or a dining room table. We just have the kitchen and it goes to the living room. There's no dining area. So it's pretty similar to where I live. I mean, yeah. And somehow, this rug ggets moved somehow. I don't know how, but when I went to playtest, it was next to the door. It was on the other side of the door. It was very strange. But this home also reminds me of like grandmothers, but you can just smell the mothballs. I don't know. It just, and I have like the little mouse holes. I don't know how I missed that when I was talking. I'm just talking too much, I guess. But again, it's like just an older home, not necessarily in the best shape, but it is good for its purposes to be lived in, because that's really what a home is for. It's just for shelter. And yeah, there's the ugly curtains that I was talking about. You know somebody that's got those ugly curtains. But I just wanted something that I don't usually do, and that is these colors. Aha. And usually when I build homes, I build the entire floor plan first, and then I go down and start building the rooms. Usually I build from the bottom down because my favorite rooms to build are the living room and the kitchen and stuff. But lately I've been doing it the opposite way, and it seems to work better for me. I don't know why. I guess because you have the base floor completed, so then it's easier to build on the top. I don't know. But I'm really bad at roofing, as you will see in the future. I'm horrible at roofing. I also really like homes that have a foundation. I rarely make a home that doesn't have a foundation. I just like the steps that lead up to the front door and maybe a front porch. man. I'm just thinking about my terrible roofing. That's one thing I miss about Sims 3 is that they had the auto roof option. That was my savior in The Sims 3. But I didn't have Sims 3 for the PC. I only had it for the Xbox 360. And I was so proud of my builds on there back in the day. So proud. But now I've looked back at them before and they're actually quite awful. But oh yeah, I skipped out, or I edited out some of the roofing. And so you might see a couple different jump cuts there because it took me so long to figure out how I wanted the roof to look. But in the end, I end up loving it. It is a cute house. Like, maybe one day I'll come back in and renovate it and maybe make the family that will potentially live there, make it a little more modern. A little less lived in, I would say. Because with that worn down carpet and really old refrigerator and stove. Da-na-na. Do-do-do. I really liked this build. It's funny because the builds where I don't really like the stuff that I use in them somehow always end up being one of my favorites. Like the other one that I built that's similar to this one, I think about that one all the time. And then there's other ones I'm like, oh yeah. Like I'll go into my gallery and I'm like, I forgot I built that one. Because they're all the same. But when you venture out and you build different ones, that's what makes them cool. Because there's a bunch of different styles of people that live in a bunch of different styles of home. And I realized I always wanted the shower there from the beginning, and I realized I wasn't going to be able to fit everything in there if I didn't extend, so the daughter's room had to shrink a little. And I wanted the bathroom to be like older because the house is older, and so as you will see here in just a moment, I turn everything pink because there are like those old houses that you know, maybe you don't personally know them, but you've seen them on TVs or movies, or like your grandmother has them, where like all of the fixtures are outdated and everything is pink or green or one color. So I pretty much make this entire bathroom pink, and then I don't really put any decorations in it because if everything is in tile, you can't really put decorations on it. I mean, if you had command strips, but they don't have command strips in The Sims, as far as I know. They just hang stuff up. So I just kind of leave it pretty blank in there, but very pink. And I feel like it is, I actually really like it as a bathroom. It's just very nostalgic to me because I just envision myself at like my great-grandmother's house where it's just kind of outdated and you're just like, okay, this is our grandmother's house. And I am aware that people that double bed there, full bed, queen bed, whatever size bed that is, can only be used on one side, but it has been play tested where they can get in the bed. It's just, again, I designed it for a single parent, so the single parent doesn't necessarily need the other side of the bed. I mean, if they want visitors, I guess so, but not necessarily. I was trying to do stuff that I don't usually do, and I always build it to where you can get on both sides of the bed. So I thought, why don't I make it where you can only get one side of the bed? Because in real life, a lot of people push their bed up against the wall, and then they have to slide over. But that is not something that is accessible in The Sims, so I made it where it's a single parent. I mean, I already had planned on it being a single parent anyway, but. And the parents' room is very simple. Like, I didn't put a ton of stuff in it because it goes with the storyline, and I will tell you the storyline once we get to work on the child's room. Which, sorry for my yawning, which is coming up here in just a minute. But I just kind of, again, now that I'm watching this back, this is very grandmotherly. I swear that, like, great-grandmothers of mine have houses like this, or had houses like this. I've been. Maybe I'm thinking of, like, old time. No. I don't know. Anyway, it is very grandmotherly. Let me know if you think this is grandmotherly, because I think it's very grandmotherly. Maybe it's just because of the oldness of it all, but I even brought the holes in the paneling and wall stuff upstairs. However, you will not see that in the child's bedroom. And the reason behind that is part of my story. So this single parent that may not necessarily have a lot of money, their goal in life is to take care of their child. And so all of their money goes towards this child. So you will see as I build that this room is immaculate. It is perfect. It is perfection. There's not a hole in the wall. There is not a mouse hole in the wall. The wallpaper is perfect. The bed is perfect. There are so many toys. Everything is perfect for this child, because there are plenty of parents out there in the real world who are doing that for their families and making sure that their child has the best of the best, even if they can't afford the best. So all of their money goes towards their child, and so maybe they have all pink appliances. Maybe they have a really old oven or a really old refrigerator, because they want their child to have what's best. And so by having what's best, they make sure that their kid has toys, make sure that their kid has decorations, make sure that their kid has light and lamps and curtains in the best room that they can possibly have, even if it's small. So that goes for my story. So that was my story from the beginning with the child. The child's room, how it was a little bit different. So I put like a gigantic hole in the parents' room, the wall, because they are not worried about their room. They just want their kid to have the best room that they can have. So that was my main goal with this, is that I just wanted it to be where the parent cares for their child and they would do anything to make sure that their child has the best. So maybe their living room isn't the nicest, maybe their kitchen isn't the nicest, maybe their own bedroom isn't the nicest, but their child is going to have the nicest stuff that they can have in the budget that they have. So that was my goal with that. And they have their little decorations. They got all their toys. They got their lunchbox down in the kitchen. But I really like that. I don't usually go with like green themes. I don't think I've ever used that penguin wallpaper before. But I wanted to go with the green theme because I liked the green, the comforter that I used. I'm sorry, I am tired. I swear I've gotten plenty of sleep, but I just yawn all the time. I could not pick the right railing for this home. I sat there and I sat there and I could not pick it out. Finally I did, obviously, because otherwise it wouldn't be a complete house. But I end up, again, I love this house. I mean, again, why do I say again all the time? Again. This house was supposed to be something that I don't usually build, but it turned into something that I really liked. I like it a lot better than some of the modern builds that I've built that are like I just spend money on like the most expensive items and things like that. But this just seems like a real home. Like, not that the modern homes that I build or that anybody else builds couldn't be real homes, because obviously they can be. But this just seems like a home that a lot of people that I know would live in. And I really like it. And I love the yard. I'm so excited to get to the yard. So hurry up, siding, pick that darn siding. And I don't usually go with like a plain colored siding, and I actually kind of hate it until I put the change the foundation color and then add like the eaving. I don't actually know what the title for it is called, but the lining around the roof. I actually don't like, as it stands right now, I hate it. And then when I add more coloring to the roof and then also to the foundation, I love it. See, look how much better that looks already. And then when you add in this, spectacular. It looks awesome. If I do say so myself, and I do say so because I can. La. Usually, I always put like a chair on a porch. Front and porch, back, blah, 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 or a grill. This time I did not do that. I left the porches pretty bare. I did put a couple plants on the front porch. But not everybody has porch furniture. So I didn't put the furniture on the porches. And the porches are kind of small the way I built them. So that's another reason why I didn't. But I did put a little bit of flowers all around and shrubbery, and I just love this one. I know I'm going to keep saying it over and over, but I love this one. And I didn't think I would love it because I hate the colors that I used. I hate browns. And I really like the black and white schemes and just bright colors. But I love this one. I love it. And I wanted a little fence there. And I thought about putting a gate, but as you will see here in a second, it's going to transition straight to night because I had to log out of the game and log back in, because I don't know if this is a glitch for everyone, but anytime I try to put a gate in a fence, the fence disappears and you have to get out of the game for the fence to come back. I haven't done any research into it, but that happens to me every single time. So I just eliminated the gate and I had to exit. Oh, sorry, I dropped the mic on my mouth, or I hit the mic with my mouth. If I use a gate, it just makes the fence disappear. And I've never used that horseshoe pit before. I don't even think I knew I had it. I think it must have come with the, what's the camping pack? The outdoor retreat or whatever. And then, because I put that clothesline there, because it just seemed like the right thing that would go with that house. I don't obviously have a laundry room in the house, but because I put the clothesline there, it does make the Sims clothes like just go in piles as if they need to be washed. So if you do download this from the gallery, you're either going to have to remove the clothesline or get something to wash the clothes with, because I just wanted it to kind of be an old clothesline that nobody really uses anymore. It's just kind of been there because it's an old house. So I just kind of put a bunch of grass underneath of it as if nobody's used it in a long time. And I didn't realize that if you just put the clothesline there, they will take off their clothes to just drop them. I thought that only happened with a washer and dryer in the home. But apparently it happens if they have a clothesline as well. So just keep that in mind if you download this from the gallery. Look at how nice it's coming along. I love landscaping. I don't know why. Landscaping is my favorite part. I think because it just doesn't matter. You can put them random. You can put them, what's the word I'm looking for? Symmetrical. That's the word. You can just put them anywhere. And it always bothers me because I never put plants really on the sides of houses, because I don't know. It's just weird to me, but it's fine. I liked this one. And that's why I put the clothesline over on the other side, is because since I don't usually put like trees or anything there, I needed something. And I did not put the furniture on the porch, but I did put it in the backyard. So they got a little place to sit. They can sit around their little fire that I give them, their little fire pit, and they can have a cookout without a grill. Maybe they can make s'mores around the fire. And they can use the horseshoe pit. Why can I not remember words? I could not remember the word for horseshoe pit. And I actually really liked that grass that I put in there. I don't usually use that a lot, but I liked putting it in just like random splotches everywhere. And if you didn't watch my last video, what I'm doing right here is, if you pay attention to other Sims houses like made by the developers, they will put like dirt lining around the homes and then around other stuff, so that it makes it look like it's genuinely lived in and things like that. So that's what I do, just to try and make it a little bit more realistic. So like I put the dirt pathness underneath the clothesline because In the past, people would have walked along the clothesline to get their clothes. And I do my finishing touches with the plants here, just to make it have a nice touch. And then in here in just a minute, we will go into the final product and I will show you the photos. I'm being really weird today. I'm waiting to eat apples. I have an apple with almond butter that I've already cut up that's sitting behind me right now, but I wanted to get this recorded first, so I'm just sitting here waiting on my apple slices. But it's fine, because we're chatting. I could have already been done if I had been recording before, but it's fine. It's fine. We got it. I am recording now. I can see it. It is going. But... And again, oh my gosh, why do I say again? I'm using items that I don't usually use. Like, I never use that bathtub planter. How many people use that? I don't know. But we are about to go into the imagery. So I will pull that up right about now. Well, not now, but now. All right. So, apparently I've adopted another accent this time. I do randomly talk in horrible accents, though, so you might hear that every once in a while. But, here is the completed product from the inside. Everything should be good now, because, again, I did play test it. But, if you guys like this particular build, let me know in the comments. And if you like me making these Sims videos, also let me know in the comments. But I hope you guys have a good day and a good night. And goodbye.